Need computer training for a group or office? Contact us today to get a free demo of our training at www.teachucomp.com/enterprise-licensing.
Once you have entered a work resource, you can adjust its working schedule so that Microsoft Project can then adjust the scheduling and use of the work resource as needed. When you create a work resource within the Resource Sheet view, you can set the default working calendar for the resource from the Base Calendar Cells drop-down menu. Now, in this lesson, we will examine making individual changes to the availability schedule of a work resource. To do this, first select the row within the Resource Sheet view that contains the work resource whose availability schedule you wish to edit. Next, open the Resource Information dialog box by clicking the Resource Information button that appears within the Properties button group on the Resource tab in the ribbon. In the Resource Sheet dialog box, click the Change Working Time button that appears on the General tab to open the Change Working Time dialog box. You can use this dialog box to make individual adjustments to the base work schedule calendar that has been selected. You can enter time off, vacation days, and other time that the resource will not be available to work during normally scheduled work hours by entering these items into the Exceptions tab. If the resource has a set part-time availability, you can enter the schedule of their work week into the Work Weeks tab. To create an exception to the work schedule, click the Exceptions tab. Here you can enter the various days off for the selected work resource. To do this, you can click into the first day off shown on the calendar. Next, click into the first available blank row within the Exceptions tab, and then type the name of the label that you want into the name column. When you leave that cell, the date selected in the calendar above will be entered as the default values for both the start and finish dates of the time off. If this is incorrect, you can click into either or both the start and finish columns to indicate the correct start and end times of the time off from the project. You can then repeat this process as needed to enter any other time off for the selected work resource. If you need to enter a custom work week for the selected resource, you can do that by clicking the Work Weeks tab within the Change Working Time dialog box. Note that the value of default is shown within the first row of this tab. This value indicates that the default working time from the base calendar selected is to be used for task scheduling for this work resource. If you wish to change the default work schedule for this resource for all weeks in the project, you can select the default row on this tab first. If you only want to set a work schedule for a specified range of time, then instead click into the next blank row. Then enter a name for that specified range of time into the Name column. You will then need to use the adjacent Start and Finish columns to set the start and end dates for the work schedule that you're about to specify. In this scenario, the work schedule that you're about to create will only be used during the dates selected. During dates that don't fall within that time, the default schedule will instead be used. Next, for whichever schedule you're editing, click the Details button to open the Details For dialog box. Here you can select the desired day or days of the week to edit by selecting them from the Select Days list at the left side of the dialog box. To the right of that area, you can then select either to set the days to non-working time, or you can select Set Days to these specific working times from the options shown. Note that choosing the Use the Time from Base Calendar for these days option does nothing to the scheduled days. Now, if you select the Set Days to the specific working times option. You would then set the available working hours for those days by using the from and to columns that appear below that area. Once you've finished creating your custom work schedule, click the OK button in the Details For dialog box until you return to the Resource Information dialog box. You can then click the OK button within the Resource Information dialog box to save the changes to the selected Work Resources schedule.
Like what you see? Get a free demo of our training for groups of 5 or more at www.teachucomp.com/enterprise-licensing.